Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Run It Back. We have a lot to talk about today. If anyone out there has been complaining about the NBA, I would hope you're quiet now because these games have been stupid. Let's start with game one between the Knicks and the Celtics. What in the world happened here? So, all right, Porzingis leaves this one. We'll get that news out of the way, but let's get to the gist of it. It's a 108-105 OT win for New York. Brunson with 29, OG Anunoby with 29, Tatum finished with 23 and 16. But the Celtics were up 20 points in this bad boy, and the third quarter, it's the one thing we've said all year long. It's the one thing anybody with eyes has said all year long, Chandler. You live and die by the three. What did you take away from last night's game?
I mean, 15 to 60 is ridiculous. And again, this is what this team does. And they're 1-3 away from going in from winning this game. And it's not even talking about that. It's too many threes, but there's got to be a balance, right? And with Jason Tatum, it's either to the rim or it's either settling for threes. And Jaylen Brown even said after the game, listen, in momentum moments, we can't just fire up threes and settle. And that's what they did. And you have to give the Knicks credit. They consistently stayed with it. They never hung their heads. Down 20. I thought this game was over. This game, and the Knicks just stayed resilient. And that's exactly what they have to do in a series like this. They're out-talented. They're outmanned. They're not the better team. But as long as they stick with the plan, play hard, and continue to fight like they did last night, anything can happen. And again, like you said, this is nuts. We got the Knicks up 1-0. We got the Pacers up 1-0. We got the Nuggets up 1-0. Like, this is awesome. This is exactly what we want. And this is just, I think it's great for the league. I think it's great. But again, 50 of 60, I don't think it's going to happen again if Boston Celtics. I don't think they miss that many threes again. I don't think they take that many threes, 60 again. But man, they got to find some sort of
threes.
They'll take that many again.
But this is what they do. Again, we can't nitpick when they do. They did this all year long, so this isn't really a surprise.
Yeah. I just hate the fact that it was in this fashion. Like, at some point, somebody got to say, yo, let's attack the basket. Let's play in the mid-range. Let's try something different. This is not going our way. Our lead is slipping away. This team is gaining momentum on us, and we're just we're literally shooting ourselves in the foot by taking so many long-range three-pointers. Like, one of my biggest things that I saw last night, this is a tied ball game, or it's a one-point game, and Jason Tatum took 3 straight three-pointers under 2 minutes in this basketball game. 3 straight. Like, at some point, when you miss the first one or you miss the second one, I'm going to attack the rim or I'm going to play in the mid-range. You got 2 of the biggest body guards in the league, and they just settle for three-pointers. And last night, it showed. They're going to live and die by the three-point line, and they died by it last night. And it's a game like the Knicks didn't even play their best basketball last night. And granted, the Celtics didn't either. Very winnable game for the Boston Celtics. But again, when you live and you die by that three-point line, and that's your MO, at some point, somebody has to say, look, let's try something different, especially when it's a tie ball game or it's a 1 or 2 point game. Like, free throws will get you across the finish line. Mid-range will get you across the finish line. You don't need the big dagger 3 to win this game. And that showed last night.
It looks so out of control, right? Like, as if you've forgotten everything else about basketball and all the rules. I saw Rick Mahorn talking this morning. I heard him. And in the 1989 finals clinching game for the Pistons, they shot 3 three-pointers. 3
Well,
three-pointers
they were hacking the whole
total.
time. So
I know,
different.
but it's the between those two numbers is an absolute insanity island. But that being said, let's talk about confidence, right, Lou? Because this obviously was a huge win for New York. I mean, the night was just crazy in general. The odds have now fluctuated back and forth, and I'm wondering if you're giving them a puncher's chance to now come out of the series based off of this one win.
Well, we said it was going to go 6. Like, so they're right there in the mix of what we said was going to happen. We never thought they were going to get swept. They did have the chance to go steal a basketball game, and they did that. You know, they capitalized off the mistakes that the Boston Celtics made, and they made big plays when they needed. Jalen Brunson was amazing. Like, he's the one guy in the fourth quarter across the league that their team just gives him the basketball in the fourth quarter and tells him, hey, just go win us a basketball game. And he does everything in his power to do so. He uses three-point ability. He uses off the catch, off the dribble, everything that he has in his bag, he brings it out in the fourth quarter. He was able to wield him away from a win. And so if I'm New York, of course, I have a ton of confidence going into the next game. I don't think Boston plays this way again. But again, if you're the New York Knicks and you win this game, you correct some things. And if you can be even better than you were in game one, going into game two, I'm a confident group and feeling like I can come away with a win in this series.
Yeah, and the Celtics, they're not going to hang their head, right? They had chances to win this game. They had multiple looks, and some of the threes that they did miss, they were good looks, and that's what they've done all season long. So you can't nitpick them that hard when they don't go down. I think there needs to be a balance a little bit. Like Jason Tatum, he can't take 23 shots and only get to the free throw line 7 times, 15 of them being threes. Like Jaylen Brown is 7 for 20, 8 for 10 from the free throw line, 1 for 10 from the three is not going to cut it. So I think sometimes they get a little trigger happy. They take early threes in the shot clock to get out in the fast break. They'll pass up a layup to shoot threes. That's what they do all season long. I think this could be a blessing in disguise for them that they know, you know what, we are beatable. We can't just go out here and lollygag because the Knicks are tough. They'll grind you down. OG was fantastic last night. Bridges, those two wing defenders are the perfect guys to match up with Tatum and Brown. There's no recipe to stop those guys, but on paper and athletically and lengthwise, they do have some guys that can cover what the Celtics do great and do force them to even take even more early threes in the shot clock, which happened last night. But do they have a chance? For sure. The fact that they're still plus 295 should tell you everything. They don't have that big of a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
Chandler,
go ahead. Sorry, Lou.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, you make a great point. It's about balance. Like your two best players, they took 25 3-pointers combined. Like at some point, and I can't think of bigger guards, a bigger tandem at the guard position at the 2 and the 3, besides Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, you have to put some type of pressure on these guys. You had success in getting Cat in foul trouble. You had success in getting Jalen Brunson in foul trouble. When the game is on the line, you got to go to that. You got to reach in your back pocket and say, I can use my size and my ability to get to the rim to also use the free throw line as a plus for us. Instead, they used the 3-point line. They shot themselves out of it.
And Lou, Derek took 16, and Porzingis would have took 10 plus if he played. So as a defender, you're letting me off the hook when you settle like this, especially when you have the athleticism, the playmakers, the ball handlers that the Celtics do. They don't just have to do that. Again, they're great at it. They're a historic 3-point shooting team, and they'll find a balance. And no doubt they'll watch film saying they'll clean up some things that they can do better. But they're letting them off the hook shooting this many threes. And the Knicks are a good defensive team, but you got to put pressure on them at the rim and get to the free throw line.
You know, that the picture of what you're saying, Chandler, there was a moment last night towards the end of the game where exactly that was happening. Everybody was just prepping for the Celtics to take another 3, and Drew Holiday just basically walked to the basket and got an easy 2. And it was such a shocking moment for me watching that I was like, oh, you can still do that. Like, you can still do that here. It's like, it's still a thing, guys. Jalen Brunson, obviously clutch player of the year. It could not have been more deserving of that award this season. We saw it last night. He did have the miss, though, in regulation. Even he was almost shocked that that did not fall. But as far as closers in the league right now, Chandler, is there anyone else, and think hard, anyone else out there that you'd rather have the ball in their hands come clock winding down?
Right now, today, no. And there's a reason that he's the player of the year. He's done it all year long. There are guys like Dame. There's guys like Steph Curry that are unbelievable, that can create space, that can shoot it from deep, that have had insane buzzer beaters and big time shots throughout their career. But this dude does it all, man. And think about it. He's getting guarded also by Drew Holiday, who's arguably the best perimeter defender in the league. Derek White, another really good defender who's bigger than him. You can't speed him up. Don't slow him down. He plays at his own pace. He gets to his spots. He had a really good look to end this thing in regulation too. Like he was shocked he didn't even make it, but the dude is unbelievable. And he's a player that you just can gradually gets better and better and better. And he gets to his spots and he uses his body, and his pace is just unbelievable. No matter who's guarding him, he plays the same way. He can't be controlled, and he gets in the lane, and he's an unbelievable scorer, and he has no fear at the end of the games, and he deserves it. I would take him over pretty much anybody. There's better shooters than him, sure, guys like Steph, Dame, Kyrie, but right now, ball in the hands, I want Jalen Brunson to have it.
Crazy. The trust, Lou. The trust in Jalen Brunson right now is at an all-time high. What a nice thing to have on your team if you're New York, to be able to be calm about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we're talking about confidence, and you're a guy that's been carrying this team in the fourth quarter all year, at the top of the fourth, when you're walking out on that floor to start that quarter, everybody and their mama know who's going to have the basketball in their hands and who's going to make plays for them. That gives a guy confidence. Like when his teammates, like, yo, we with you, we're going to do the dirty work. You carry us to the promised land. You make plays for us and get us home. That's a hell of a confident basketball player. And you've seen it. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. As talented as Drew Holiday is on the defensive end, as disruptive as he can be, it didn't even matter. When I'm confident, it doesn't matter who's standing in front of me. And Jalen Brunson has done that night in and night out the entire season this year, last year. Since he's been with the New York Knicks, he's been this guy. And now that he's on this big stage in the postseason, it's gonna show. It's gonna be a remarkable thing just to see him constantly do this. So, do we give them a fighter's chance at winning this series? If he's able to play like this, then the Celtics don't shoot the basketball well, we might be having a different conversation at the end of this series.
Yeah, and you know what, Lou? We might not give them the biggest chance, but the Knicks now at least believe. They lost every single game to good teams during the regular season. That doesn't matter anymore. They just went to Boston, stole game one, and have all the momentum now. So that is all they need. That is all the verification that they need that they can beat this team.
I mean, down 20 at their house. So missing shots is one thing. Dude, I texted the group and was like, hey, my sweep call's looking pretty good right now. I knew it. I knew as soon as I sent that. I was like, God, I've known this. 20 years I've been doing this. That being said, let's just throw the missed threes out because that is an astronomical number that my brain can't wrap around. The fact, though, that Tatum and Brown were able to play a certain level of defense that got Cat in pretty early foul trouble. Let's talk about that. Let's just sort of see what they can build on as far as the positives to take away from a game like that, Chandler. And I have to imagine this strategy is something that you keep doing moving forward.
100%. And Cat has a history of getting in foul trouble. Mitchell Robinson wasn't really a factor last night. He played 20 minutes, but he wasn't really a factor, especially with Porzingis out. His health, I think it was some illness. He should be fine, but that's Cat can dominate this series. There's no one on Boston that can take him away. There's no one that can, he should be the best player on the floor this series. So the fact that he does get in foul trouble, and a lot of them are silly too. Like he doesn't have to do this. And the Knicks need him. So I think the fact that they didn't play great last night, Cat didn't have his best game, but they still found a way to win. And OG, again, 29 from OG, that was unbelievable. You know what you're going to get from Jalen Brunson. It's Cat to me. He's got to stay on the floor. He can't be in foul trouble. And again, the Celtics, put pressure on him. Don't settle for threes. Go at him. He does have a history of getting in foul trouble. And with him out, it changes the entire game for the Knicks. So Cat's got to be available, and he's got to be aggressive.
So, Lou, I'm going to go to you first on this next one, but there's a little bit of sound with it as well, because as far as how the game was being called, first half, second half seemed like two very different situations by the refs. First half was a little ticky-tack. We just talked about the early foul trouble. Brunson was also in a bit of early foul trouble. Second half, however, it seems like things were allowed to sort of be a little more fluid, a little more physical. Jason Tatum had some thoughts on that as well.
In terms of how do you not let your frustrating with lack of calls prevent you from attacking if you don't think you're going to get a call? Is that connected at all?
No, that don't connect. I mean, it's the playoffs. Like, we probably should just play without the refs. Like, it's how physical it is. So, that don't really cross my mind at all.
I mean, that would be kind of fun. Lou, I am curious, though, as a player, it's one thing to have games be called differently, but to have two halves be called differently, how do you even adjust to that?
You just got to stick with your game plan and stick with the way that you conduct business, right? Like if you're a physical basketball team, if you continue to play physical, eventually the referees are going to have to be the ones to adjust. I can't change my game plan because of the way that the whistle is blown. Like if you do that, that takes you completely out of your rhythm and what you do and your philosophy as a basketball team. So I'm in agreement with Jason Tatum. Like you can't allow that to be a factor in the way that you go about trying to win a basketball game. Like if the referees are going to call ticky-tack fouls, I can't change my physicality. I can't change the way that I go about trying to win basketball games. And so in that manner, I agree with him, especially if you're a team that likes to hold and grab and present physicalities on a defensive end like the Boston Celtics do. I can't change my identity. I can't change who we are as a defensive group. On the offensive end, it really don't matter if we're going to shoot a bunch of threes anyways. And so when it no, it really doesn't. So for that, on that end of it, they got to start putting more pressure on referees to referee them different by them attacking the rim, using their ability to get to the rim and being a physical team. Like we know that Boston is a physical team on defense. Now on the offensive end, if they're not going to attack the rim, if they're not going to put the referees in a position to make them call fouls, then it really doesn't matter. But defensively, you got to remain yourself and you got to keep your identity.
And I will say, you want consistency, right? You want the same whistle
Sure.
from the first to the second. That's hard to adjust when the game is officiated differently within the game. So that would be frustrating to me too. If I'm putting pressure on the defense and I'm getting called in the first half, and then all of a sudden I'm not. You have to have the same whistle for 48 minutes.
I also wonder what happens during halftime that they come out with sort of a different mindset. It's just an interesting phenomenon.
I can see if it's getting a little chippy and they want to tighten it up in the second half. This was the opposite. This was tic-tac to then physical. This didn't make sense.
Made no sense to
Usually
me.
it's the opposite way around.
Yeah, it's like a call came down. Don't let people foul out. I don't know. That was very weird. But that was not the only crazy game with the crazy ending. My goodness. I wondered what the Thunder would look like, and they looked fine. But here comes Denver. Aaron Gordon can do it all, ladies and gentlemen. Game-winning dunk? Sure. Game-winning three? Why not? This time with 2.8 seconds left, he finishes with 22 and 14 rebounds. Russell Westbrook with his 18 off the bench. Jokic, didn't mean to not mention him because, 42, 22, and 6. This one is huge. Friend of the show, Aaron Gordon, big, giant part of that. You didn't like how this ended, Lou. This had Lou Will written all over it as far as strategies and teams and what they do in certain situations. Take it away, Lou. What about the foul?
I tried to tell y'all this whole foul while you're up 3 thing is not a good thing. I understand the analytics, I understand the data, but at some point it got to pass the eye test. It got to pass the common sense test. Like this was a game that OKC was controlling for a lot of the game, especially in the fourth quarter. Like Denver made their runs, but OKC did everything that they possibly could to lose this game. Now I get it, low clock. You want to foul when you're up 3, when a team doesn't have timeouts and this and that, and they got to go the length of the court. I get that part. I get it. OKC did this for 3 straight possessions. They got two free throws from SGA out of 1. They got a wide open dunk from a great side out of bounds play that they drew up. So when I get a wide open layup, why do I allow them to inbound the basketball and then I foul them and I donate them 2 free throws? And then on the last possession, you have you got Jokic on the bench. You got your best player on the bench with no timeouts. They got to go the length of the floor. I'm taking my chances. Now somebody else has to make a play with their best player off the floor. But what do? We foul again. Like they gave them 6 free throws in 14 seconds. 6 free throws in 14 seconds that we donated to you. So now what happens again? We're putting pressure on ourselves now to make free throws. What happens? Chet Holmgren steps up to the line and he smokes 2 free throws, and now they can go down the length of the court. Russell Westbrook makes a play to Aaron Gordon, 3-ball game. I'm gonna say this until my last breath. As far as I care about basketball, you do not donate free throws to the opposite team and then you put pressure on yourself to win a basketball game that you're already winning. I don't understand that philosophy, especially when there's so much time left in the basketball game. It took 7 to 8 minutes to finish 14 seconds of a game because the team that was winning were doing all the fouling and stopping the clock. I don't understand it. They didn't make Denver make one play besides the play that ended up burying them to begin with. I don't understand this philosophy. They did everything they could to lose this game. You got to blame that on coaching, and you got to blame it on philosophy.
By the way, and Dagnall did say after this game, he's like, that is what we do in that situation. Up 3, we foul. So he's sticking to it, Chandler.
They were up 3 for 20 seconds. Like at some point, just play defense. You got to play defense. And somebody has to look over and says, Jokic is on the bench. They don't have any timeouts. That means he can't get back in the game. Let's play this out. Let's put somebody else in a position. That's your dream.
Disagree.
One last little thing, because this is my pet peeve right here.
This is your thing, man.
This is my pet peeve. This is the one time that the whole saying, make somebody else beat me, this was it. Make somebody else beat you. You're the best player. The guy that has 40 and 20 is on the bench. Why am I fouling and donating them free throws and giving him a chance to get back on the floor? Go take it away, Chandler. I don't understand.
There's a time and place to do this. Like this, no timeouts. Jokic again, doing it 3 times in a row, that's a lot. If I'm up 3 and there's less than 4 seconds and they're inbounding the ball, I'm fouling 10 times out of 10. I'm eliminating any luck. I'm eliminating any attempt. I'm not even allowing them to get a look to possibly time me, given the circumstance of what's on the clock. Again, doing it this many times in a row, I don't necessarily agree with. But if there's 4 seconds, bro, and you're coming down the court and you are dribbling and you're giving me an opportunity right now, not in the shooting motion, to foul, I'm doing it 10 out of 10 times because I don't even want you to throw a Hail Mary. I don't even want Aaron Gordon to get that look because I am fouling before not even putting myself in that position to lose the game. So this was a lot. Jokic on the bench was huge. No timeouts was huge. So again, you're allowing them to set up. You're stopping the game. I didn't agree with that. And to do it 3 times also is a lot. But I'm doing it 10 times out of 10, especially if they're giving me an opportunity, like dribbling and not in the shooting motion. I'm doing it every single time, and it usually works out. This was a bad beat. They said they always do this. They have a system. They have a plan. It works usually. And again, the thing is they consistently do this. It didn't work out last night, and they did it too much.
Listen. But consistently doing it in the regular season and you know, being 16 games ahead of everyone else, and maybe you've got a confidence that is obviously deserved, but isn't part of coaching adapting in the moment?
Yes. Like, okay, I don't care what you did all season. You don't do this for 3 straight possessions to win the game.
3 possessions is a lot. Again,
check this out.
That's like bad dream scenario.
The first foul out of the 3, you foul Jokic as soon as they throw the ball in. No time is off the floor. He's 30 feet from the basket. He almost hoisted that one, and he was frustrated with himself from not going ahead and going into his shooting motion. But you don't even force him to take time off the clock or even put the ball on the floor to give yourself that's why you do this. You don't do this to why would you foul as soon as they put the ball in, and now they're going to foul you? Now I have all the pressure in the world on me to make free throws. Like, you don't even make him put the ball on the floor or anything. I don't
Lou's been waiting for this. Lou has been waiting for this moment to play out like it did last night. It was perfect.
I hate first time it hasn't worked that I can remember, honestly.
I mean,
it was too much time on the clock.
Way too much time and again. But Lou, one time, 3 seconds to go up 3 dribbling, you're doing it then. That's fine.
I'm rolling. Okay. Short clock, one time, got to go full the length of the court, no timeouts. I get it.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone do it
3 times. That's like some Groundhog Day stuff. Like that's weird to me.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna look like a genius tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why are they doing this? Especially, I felt like that when Chet missed the first free throw. When he missed the first one, I said, here we go. Why am I putting pressure on myself?
I also always wonder, Lou, like when you go to like that, or you go to like hack a DeAndre Jordan, you're basically telling your guys you can't stop them, so we have to foul this guy because we're having real. So it's also telling your team, by the way, you're not getting any stops, so we're literally going to resort to fouling the worst free throw shooter just to not even allow them to get a look and offer them free points. That's also counting.
You know what else is frustrating about how this played out? OKC they were getting stops. They were getting big stops. Like I forget Jalen Williams. He got a big block on Aaron Gordon right there, where Caruso gets where he gets the defensive rebound, and they're able to get the ball to SGA to shoot free throws. Like, you have the identity of a team that can go out and get stops. So why not use that? That's the best part of your team, is that you have 5 guys on the floor at all times that can guard somebody. Why not use that strength to your advantage? Why give them the advantage by just donating free throws?
I mean, the conversations amongst the coaches today.
Yeah. And Lou makes a good point, though. This is a historically good defensive team, from Lou Dort to Chet to Cason Wallace. Like, they have dudes that can guard you multiple different ways. They have size, they have length, they can switch, they can go small, they can go big. So this team is the last team, I would say, to go to this kind of style, because they are capable. They are one of the better defensive teams in the league. And like Lou said, they were getting stopped. So I'm with it. I'm usually a big foul up three guy, but again,
Yep.
3 times in a row with the circumstances of no timeouts and Jokic on the bench was a huge mistake.
That's
Well,
the thing.
today is
There's
my day,
context.
Chandler.
Lose the
honest.
genius. We
Today
should
is
have a
my
crown
day.
for the genius
I
of the day
guarantee
today.
Dagnall, I think he'll do it again. Like I think
He'll do
he's
it
a
again.
system. He's a system guy. He is
I
sticking
don't
to his
like
guy.
that. But as
You
a
did not do
person
it 3
who
times in a row. I know that.
do you like that? Like if you're a great coach, right? And I'm not saying anyone's either a great coach or not. But I cannot get off of the idea that the skill set, the talent that makes someone a great coach is your adaptability, your situations. If it's context that you need, then maybe you changed your strategy. If you're just doing the same thing over and over again, that's just like a robot. Like, how is that a skill? If it just, this is what we do in this situation. I mean, hell, I could do that. So that's what worries me when we do this.
The one out of all of them that kills me, I'm looking at Jokic standing on the sideline
Yes.
in a possession deciding the game. And if I'm the coach, let him stay over there. We are one of the best defenses in the league. Let's sit down and let's guard. They got Russell Westbrook on the floor, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray. They have a couple of guys on the floor that can make 3-pointers. But we can guard 5 ways. We can switch everything. We can stay solid. And Jokic is on the bench. The guy that's making the plays, matter of fact, the guy that just made the 2 3-pointers to even get them back in the position that they were in to have a chance to win the game is on the bench now. Let's just sit down and guard for a possession and see what
You say it like that. When you say it like that, the best player in the world is trying to check in the game. We're fouling to allow him to come back in the
him
game.
on the floor. What are we doing?
By the way, that's what's, again, context. Context is everything. And in this case, the Jokic of it all was big. But by the way, let me just repeat the line in case you missed it. 42, 22, and 6 assists. He's only the 4th player ever with a 40-25 game in the playoffs. That list, of course, Wilt, Shaq, Giannis. That ain't bad at all. Best player in the world. It's gotten so almost normal for me to hear that it's just part of his title now. But top 10 player of all time. I don't see that it's too early to start this conversation, but I also know that people see, Chandler did it. You start to bristle a little bit when I hear top 10 of all time. What's the problem?
It is a one-time champion. It's hard to put up 10. You get a couple more of them chips. And again, he could win MVP this year. Technically, he's not going to his SGAs, but this is we always talk about. This is probably the best statistical year and best season for a runner-up. Top 10 again. You're going to go back to the Kareems and the old guys back in the day that have way better resumes technically, but the guy, no matter what he is, 10, 15, 20. He is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. And you go ahead and you knock off the #1 seed, the Thunder, and you go and put yourself in a position to win another championship this year, then I think it's a no-doubter. Listen, there's guys like Kareem, Wilt, Shaq. They're big-time centers that have a hell of a resume. This dude can do it all. This dude is a different style of game than any of those guys. He's a point forward center. You play through him. He's unbelievable. His vision and seeing it makes everyone around him better. It's truly unbelievable. His stat lines are just disgusting. Like they don't even shock me anymore. It's just become the norm, and we're getting numb to his greatness and his brilliance. So I don't know if he's top 10 yet. I don't know if he's top 15 yet. But he's unbelievable, and I think he's probably the 2nd best center of all time.
He's unbelievable, but we didn't make this argument for Russell Westbrook when he was doing this. When Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double for 2 or 3 seasons, I believe it was 2 when it was going into a third, even had a 60, 20, and 20 game. We didn't make this argument for Russell Westbrook as a top 10 player of all time. So he's in an unbelievable run right now. But let's see what the totality of his career turns into. He's a 1-time champion, 2-time MVP, had a great opportunity to get another one. But let's see what happens after this. Like, again, Russell Westbrook is at the Russell Westbrook.
MVP.
3-time, baby.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
About
my
to
bad.
be 4.
We about to go into 4. Yeah, my bad. But again, we didn't make this argument for Russell Westbrook when he was in a run like this. Now Jokic is different. Don't get me wrong. I understand that this is a completely different scenario, but we got to relax when guys are still in the primes of their careers. Let's see what else happened. Now, knock on wood, if he go out there and put out 5 or 6 duds in a row of seasons, we're not going to say this anymore. So you got to allow guys to be who they are and allow the totality of their careers to pan out and see what happens.
You know how I know he's great?
But I feel like he's just going to ride off on his horse in like 3 years.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I
Quietly.
feel like he's not one of those guys that's going to play 20 years. You know what I mean? I feel like right now we got like just embrace it, and whatever he is, he's unbelievable and he's fascinating to watch.
I love that point forward center is just a lovely mix of words.
Everything.
But here's the thing, Lou. You know how I know he's great? Is because when you said if he just goes out and like rattles 4 or 5 dud seasons, in my mind, I was like, I would believe that he gets 3 or 4 more MVPs before I would ever believe that he goes out and does that. And that's how I'm like, oh,
that's just worst case scenario. I know we just get excited about what guys are doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to downplay it. This is an incredible historic run that Jokic is in, but we just throw around top too easily.
We love it.
Yeah, it's just we gotta chill.
Come on, Lou. Let us have our list. God.
Yeah, it's more of a us thing than a him thing.
Yeah, we are prisoners of every single moment of our lives. There was the video though of him coaching folks up, and I know there are those of the people out there that think he doesn't care about basketball, which I've never taken those people seriously. But how much do you love this, guys? Lou, what'd you think? He is in it.
No, listen, I love it, and I like the accountability that he's holding himself to. You know, especially when you fire a coach that a lot of people feel like is a championship caliber coach that can help you win another championship like he did your first one, and you get rid of a guy like that, you got to take some onus in what's going on and how the game is to be played and how the team goes out and competes. And so I like the fact that he's taking ownership of this team and he's taking more of a leadership role. This is the first time in his career that I've seen him as boisterous in huddles, as involved in huddles as he has been. I don't know what that says for Coach Adelman and his confidence in him. I'm sure he has confidence in his head coach, but sometimes when messages are delivered from your best player and they're engaged and they're involved like this trickles down to the last player on the bench all the way up to the top of the ranks. And so when you have a guy like this at the caliber of a player that Jokic is, you love to see it, and that's what I think of it.
Can we show the DJ face again? Because this is just his
DJ was all in.
And then there's this moment where I'm like, what's he saying right here? I need to know everything that's being said. Here comes DJ.
Watch the video. They're all dialed. They are listening. They are glued to whatever he is saying. And this is leadership. And this is exactly what Jokic has to do. When you fire at Mike Malone, now you look to your best player. And in moments like this, in the playoffs, a new interim coach who obviously maybe he sticks around, maybe he doesn't, but this is Jokic's team, no matter who the coach is. So to see him lead and be vocal, you're going to get the stats, you're going to get the points, the assists, the rebounds, triple doubles. This is a whole nother aspect of his game that he can take to the next level and literally lead his team to victory.
Because the sooner he gets more championships, the sooner he can go right off into the sunset. So I kind of get it. I love the urgency.
10 beads.
Just get out of there. Look, this is what's also crazy. And again, rust versus rest. That is definitely a conversation this time of year, especially given these great teams that have all now lost game ones in round 2. Denver's on a day's rest, man. They went 7 games with the Clippers. Are we more impressed just by that alone, Chandler?
It's unbelievable. And they got a bad break on the schedule. And the schedule is kind of weird with the Warriors, with what they got going on. But this was super impressive. And again, on the flip side, the Thunder were sitting around for a week. That didn't hurt them in the first series. I think it's a good thing when you get rest like that, you get fresh legs, guys that are banged up, get extra time like the Thunder. So again, I think it's a blessing in disguise for them as well. The Cavs, I think they all know we are now beatable. We are not perfect. We have to clean up a lot of things. And I think all of them will respond in game 2. But man, for them to all go on the road, steal game 1 and kind of switch home court is huge. And again, with with guys being banged up and Murray and his Aaron Gordon, the fact that they're doing this on 1 day's rest is even more impressive. I got to be honest.
It's pretty good, Lou. Aaron Gordon, man, this has been just such a fun journey for him so far in this postseason. I also love the idea that they already have a guy on that roster that we refer to as sort of playoff or bubble Jamal, whatever it is you want to call him. And now you've got Aaron Gordon doing these game-winning moments, Lou. I mean, in this moment, could you make the argument he's their most clutch dude?
Yeah, why not? Let's not forget how we got here. Aaron Gordon was the number 1 option guy in Orlando. He was the star player there. And you bring him over to Denver, and he has to mix in with what we feel like is a top 10 player of all time in Jokic. you're going to naturally be second or third option on a team. And especially with Jamal Murray and his struggles that he's had, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Aaron Gordon has been that consistent since he's been back from injury. And so that's no surprise to me. Like, that's who he's supposed to be. This was a guy that Orlando Magic felt like we can put the ball in his hands and he can go out and win us a bunch of basketball games. And he did until the part that he didn't. So it's no surprise to me that he's having the playoffs that he's having. He's having the impact that he's having and doing the things that he's doing.
Yeah. And he's a perfect fit. Like, he is the ultimate glue guy that defends, he rebounds, he's selfless. He's the perfect guy that he could probably do more. And in his head, he probably thinks I could go to a different situation, not play with the best player in the world. My numbers would be up. I can probably make a couple All-Stars. He is the perfect role player for this team. He can deliver in the crunch. He's physical. He can guard all 5 positions. So the fact that they have Jokic and Jamal Murray and they're going to get all the flowers and they're going to score the majority of the points, guys like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter are so valuable because these are studs that could be a 1 or 2 option on other teams that have found a home here, and they play so good off one another. It's the perfect fit, and a lot of guys wouldn't be able to do that. A lot of guys would find it, hard to play with a guy like Jokic and want more and expect more looks and more opportunity. Not Aaron Gordon. He takes what the defense gives him. He plays within the offense, and he is the perfect fit for a guy like Jokic. Can we talk about this 36-minute first seggy, by the way? We are rolling.
Hey, I'm under a tornado watch, I think, and I wouldn't know if one just threw up to my window right now. So let me just be a professional. Okay?
36. We are on fire.
We can do a full 57. I got it in me. Are you guys hydrate? I got my water. Come on, we can keep it going. We got Jalen Williams sound.
See, Chandler's not a podcaster like us, so he doesn't.
I know.
This is a thing for him. This is nothing for us.
Newsflash: Chandler's stamina is garbage. Pass it on.
Back in a couple of minutes.
Jalen Williams. That's not how this works. Jalen Williams did have some sound afterwards. He missed a couple of the offensive boards there after some missed free throws and was very lighthearted. So I want to see what you guys think about that. Here he is.
Jalen, you mentioned free throws earlier. What do you think that you guys could do better to improve on the glass? I mean, rebounds.
Oh, you mean like us fouling them?
No, like you getting the rebounds.
Box out, go up with 2 hands and grab that. Don't stand and watch. Box out again, and when you go up and you jump, make sure you grab it.
I like all of those pieces of information.
Torian Prince already did this in college, by the way.
That's okay.
Interview
That's
from
okay.
Baylor.
But don't you like to see it?
Grab more of them. I do. Listen, they're lighthearted. They're not taking this. It's one game. It's going to be a long series. They're playing against a very, very talented team. You're playing against Jokic. You're playing against a great offensive team. It's not going to be easy. But the fact that they are taking it light, they're not panicking. That's a sign of maturity from a young team. And again, I think they will respond in game 2. They'll be better. Jalen Williams, he was 5 of 20. He's got to be better. He is that guy when SGA is out. He's aggressive. He's been their closer a lot of times at the end of games. So he's going to be better. And the fact that he's not panicking, they're uptight, I think is a good sign.
I don't know how y'all heard anything. I just see SGA dressed as like an apocalyptic soldier. And I'm like, who else can do this? I can't get past it. I think I love it. I don't know what to say. All right, there you go, Chandler. A 38-minute A block. Quick break. We'll be back on the other side.
Running back.
What are you looking forward to most of this upcoming season?
Definitely going back to the playoffs and going further in the playoffs to go versus the Warriors. I want to play the Warriors. I want to get to the Warriors. Wherever they at, I want to get to them.
Got you. Why the Warriors so much?
I mean, because Draymond talks so much trash. That's pretty much the only reason.
2 years ago, and nothing's changed. Gotta love it. Gotta love that Ant said that 2 years ago. Yeah, look, he's on the record, and now he's getting what he wants. He gets the Warriors in this next round. Over under number of games right now is set at 5.5, guys. So I'm kind of curious, and there's a million different odds, what have you. But Chandler, I'll start with you. You feeling good about that? A 6-game series here?
Yeah, I would take the over. I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to go long. These styles are very similar when they go small ball, and I think it's going to be a hell of a series. The fact, call me crazy, I think Golden State getting 7 tonight is outrageous. I think that's a little steep. I would be all over Golden State getting 7 points. I get home court. I get the Timberwolves. are slight favorites there, but I just think the experience of the Warriors going on the road, you saw them just handle business in Game 7 in Houston, so I would be all over that. But I do think it's going to be a long series. I'm taking the over there.
We also have some fun props. Propapalooza, Lou. Some of these are some big numbers. They're Lou type numbers. So I don't know. I like this one the most. Steph to make 5 or more threes in every game is plus 2,300. That's kind of insanity.
I
But
like
that being
it,
said, it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's not the craziest prop bet that I've seen. Steph to make 5 threes in every game. I also like Steph to score 25 plus in every game as well.
Okay.
Those are the two that jump out at me that I throw $1 or so on those two. I like yeah, especially with Steph ending that series how he did in Houston. He's a petty warrior now, and he always has been resilient. I think Steph bounces back, and he has a huge series against Ant-Man and Co. So I like those two. I like 25 plus from Steph every game, and to make 5 threes every game as well.
You know what? Anthony Edwards with 50, because he's been waiting for this. That could be fun.
Yeah, it's interesting that those are better odds for him to get 50 than 10 plus threes. I would think those would be flipped a little bit. I mean, they're both outrageous, but the way they shoot threes, if he takes 20, 23 threes, I can see him making 10 before he gets 50 on the Warriors. And the Warriors, again, they're a good defensive team now. They're obviously much better with Jimmy Butler. If Anthony Edwards goes and gets a 50 ball in this series, that's impressive.
Something happened if that happens. By the way, I want to do the games exact, right? Because these are always kind of fun, and the numbers do vary all over the place. Got to pick one here, guys. What are we feeling, Chandler? You mentioned what do you think? Good Lord.
I like Timberwolves. I like the third one. I like Timberwolves 4-2 plus 470. I think it's going to go 6. Maybe 7. I don't think we're looking at a short series here. Again, these teams are both similar styles of play. They both can defend. They both have multiple ways to hurt you offensively. I'm talking Steph Curry against Anthony Edwards. I hope it goes 7. Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green. I hope that they're going to get into it early. Like, I love it. I can't wait. This series is going to be extremely interesting.
If you wanted to go 7, call 7 then.
Yeah, why are you doing 6 if you want 7?
What are you saying?
Manifest it, bro.
Minnesota in 6.
Give me Minnie in 7. I'll do it.
That's the lowest odds. Interesting. Yeah. You went with that. What about Warriors in 7?
Because it's more than likely. You know, we like to hit home runs, Beadle, but this is more than likely. I like Minnesota in 7. I'm gonna stick with my plan of Ant-Man collecting Infinity Stones. He got a bunch of really, really good ones on his gloves so far. Maybe this is another one that he can collect. I'm going Minnesota in 7.
I love that he's been calling Minnesota.
I'm from Minnesota. I've been watching the games last couple of nights. I know every team went in there and stole game 1. Minnesota cannot afford to lose this game. They have to get game 1.
Well, I was good. Okay, so that's what you're saying, because we've just seen upsets across the page. So is anybody taking Warriors tonight, Lou? Basically, plus 215.
We got to get to 7 games, so I'll take Warriors tonight.
All right, we're gonna have no home court advantage left anywhere on the board. We will take a very quick break. We'll be back on the other side.
Run it up, the running back.
This one's crazy, Lou, because Cleveland it's 9-point favorites for the Cavs tonight, but they also have an injury situation with Garland, Mobley, and Hunter all to TBD. I think this is a weird one. Pacers won the first game, 9 points. What are we doing here? How are you feeling about this one?
Everybody will play tonight. You know, that's just playoff stuff where you kind of throw everybody off to try to make it a little mysterious. All of those guys will play tonight. I like Cavaliers to bounce back and get that win at home.
So matter of fact, Lou.
Yeah, I will say 9 points is a lot for a team that kind of just got whatever they want and won game 1 and obviously still. But again, we know these teams are going to respond. I think all the lower seeds will respond. They got a little piece of humble pie there. They know they're now beatable. They clean some things up, but it's also just a good break for Indiana. This is sometimes you need a little luck and a little, and the fact that 3 of their rotation players could possibly be out. Lou, I don't think they are. And also, I don't know how serious Darius Garland's turf toe or whatever it is, but I expect him to play through whatever he's got going on because his team needs him, and it's the playoffs. You got to play through a little pain.
You guys did say that, but although the other two, I don't know if that's gamesmanship or not. I don't know, man. Pacers at plus 320. I think it's worth $1 at this point.
I also like the 9. I would take Pacers +9 here because it's a lot of points. Again, they just beat them. Like they know what they have to do, and I don't think either team played fantastic, but I like the Pacers getting 9.
I mean, not to be dramatic, but these top dog teams, Cavs included, they need to not lose their game 2s. Like that's just simple math. You can't go out and lose tonight again. This is a weird start to round 2, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, a little pop love when we return.
Run it up, then run it back.
I want to make sure everybody understands what the new job is. I'm no longer a coach. I'm El Jefe.
I mean, just Manu and Timmy up there with him. By the way, are we at the point now where we name the Coach of the Year award after Pop? Who's voting no against that, Chandler?
I don't think you can. I'm not going to be the guy that votes no against that. This guy's a legend. He's one of the best coaches. It's just whole sense of humor. I love everything about the dude, and it's just good to see him back. Good to see him doing media. I love the fact that Manu and Tim were there with him. This is just classic Pop. He's the best, and I am all for naming the Coach of the Year after him.
I'll be down for it. Why not? He's a legendary coach. He's well respected, and that would be earned. That was something that if all players in the league, past and present, could get on the same page, I think we can kind of push the envelope and try to get this done. I'd be for that for sure.
I think for us here in San Antonio yesterday was a real moment. You know, we haven't seen Pop out and about in public. That was the first time most of us have gotten to see him. We know how proud and stubborn he is, and having Timmy and Manu just sort of helping him was a moment. So it was great to see him. Mitch Johnson in a suit. I didn't even know Spurs personnel had suits at this point. So he was all dressed up. DeJounte in the house to see Mitch get the job. It was a real moment. But yeah, El Jefe is a good title. If those shirts aren't for sale already, what are we doing?
And the future is bright in San Antonio. That's one of these young teams we talked about. They are on the rise.
And we have no idea what they're planning on doing this offseason, but the articles have started. How you guys feeling about that? By the way, you haven't been with me. Y'all, we haven't worked together when the Spurs are super relevant. Y'all are going to hate my guts.
Well, we might still have some time, Beadle. It's all right.
Hey, Lou, I don't like your attitude right now. Let's go back to the calling, to fouling. Let's go back. All right, what are we looking forward to tonight? I'm almost afraid to say because anything I think is going to happen isn't. So what do you got, Chandler?
Honestly, I'm excited for the second game. I can't wait for that series. The Warriors, I think it's going to be physical. I think it's going to be electric. We're talking two of the greatest scorers in the league. I look forward to that and how the Cavs respond.
For real.
And wait to see the Pacers play tonight. I look forward to it.
Lou, I love you so much it hurts. I see you. Jalen Wells tomorrow. Enjoy the games.
Yeah.